Yeah, Aaron, what's up, man? What's
Yeah,
going on,
bro.
brother?
You know what? Same,
Back for
man. Not
another
much.
another season, man. Another
Oh,
episode.
it's nearly changed the season for you guys in the States, isn't it? It should be warming up for you guys soon.
Oh, dude, we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of summer right now. It is midsummer for us. We will be like this, I believe, probably until about, I don't know, mid to late September before we start cooling off.
Nice. And
And
then when
what I
you
mean
cool
by
off,
cooling off is I don't mean, when we're right now we're in the high 90s, but the cool off where the nights are really chilly again and we get into that fall weather that everybody loves. So yeah, we got a little bit. I'm okay with summer right now, bro.
shit, yeah. That's probably why I'm on the Gold Coast. There was about a month there where it was just ridiculously cold. Whereas now you're looking at kind of end of winter, starting to get into a new season. Um, 22, 23-degree days, sunshine. It's supposed to be winter. The other end of the country is, 3 or 4 degrees. So I love it here. It's cool. And the funny thing is that you even have a look at how people act when it's either cold or when it's warm, like their moods change. And it's like, holy
Oh
fuck,
yeah.
you're so dependable on the weather, on how you act on a day by day basis. But the space that we're in, it's like, no, no, weather doesn't dictate, but where I'm at from a day to day, it's like we got fucking shit to do and we're going to get it done. So
Weather
anyway,
is the least of my problems, Aaron. But hey, man, I want to kick this off real quick. And I want to start off with a couple of things, right? First of all, this is Impact and Chill. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Thank you. I'm John. That's Aaron, my boy. And we are two guys that started this podcast, and bro, last June. And we have
yeah.
evolved tremendously from back then until now. But bro, for the people, can you let everybody know where we're at? Where can they find us if they want to watch all this good stuff?
Oh, where we're at in regards to where they can find us. Shit, I thought you were asking where we're at in our lives now compared to what we were when we started. Holy fuck. Go back
Could
and
have went
listen.
all kinds of directions, bro.
Go back and listen to the 65 episodes. All right, you can see us on YouTube. We're also on Apple. We're on Amazon Music. And we're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. Both John and I are on Instagram, all the socials, LinkedIn. You'll find us there. You'll find everything that we both do on our own, in our own right, with our own programs. Then we come together with Impact and Chill. And it's really cool. Impact and Chill is about the experiences that we've had over the week, and we bring it together to go, okay, this is the commonality. We're literally, yeah, sharing the same life together with the shit that we deal with, which is, I think, pretty incredible. And it doesn't happen very often when you align so closely with someone. But we're both on this journey where we want the world to be a better place. And how do we do that? Well, we've created coaching programs to align with not only our own values, but also to put things in place to go, guys, we're men that have gone through the same fucking struggles as a lot of men are going through at the moment. We'll put something in place that's going to help you become that better person, to help you find who you are within yourself and be that man that you're destined to be.
Bro, I love that, man. Make sure you shout out what your coaching name is, and obviously they know where they can find you, but I love your name, man. You got to shout it out, brother.
It is called the Awakened Warrior Program. And a lot of people will look at it and go, what's the Awakened Warrior Program? Well, every single one of us has an inner warrior. What's that fight that you have within you? And some of us are so easily distracted by what's happening in the world or people around you, and you lose touch of who you truly are. In other words, if you know who you truly are, what are the decisions that you're making on a day by day basis? Now, the program is specifically for men. And when it's specifically for men, I start with the physical attributes. Like, you need to be a fucking strong man. And when you're a strong man and you look at yourself in the mirror and you see a weaponized body, let's go with that. You see a jacked, lean, strong body in front of you. How is that going to affect you on an emotional and on a mental level?
Mm.
You're going to want more. And then when you also see yourself and you start to, I'm not going to say love yourself on a bigger level. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you are so proud of what you've been able to achieve. How does that then relate into relationships? How does that then relate into business? All of a sudden you look at it and go, you know what? I'm going to become a better man. I'm going to be able to do more things, not only to be able to protect for my family, not only to be the protector of the bullshit that's happening in the world right now for my kids. You're going to be so sure of who you are, and you're going to be in that space where you don't give a fuck about the opinionated people around you that are going to try and shut you down on your word. You're so sure of who you are. And yeah, it all then comes from a truth perspective. It all then comes from a place of you wanting to be a better man and setting that fucking example for your kids.
Damn, dude, that's so good. Check out Awakened Warrior. I mean, it's me and my boy have been doing this a while now, and I can
Mm,
tell you that this man will back up every single part of this program with you. And he's just taught me so much. Aaron, you've taught me so much just in the journey that we've been on together. But it's so awesome now to see it in an organized state, right?
yeah.
It's gone from your brain to now being where everybody can actually put their hands on it. And to your point, man, I will just echo off of what you said. The more pain you put yourself through, the more pain, the more power you end up
Mm,
ultimately having, right? And bro, it's just I love that you keep saying, weaponized body. And then it also turns out, and this is one of the things that you taught me that I learned from you was imagine putting all that effort that you put into the gym into your business or into everyday life,
yeah.
where you know what you have to get done, but man, I'm just so lazy today. I don't feel like doing this, but you still put yourself through the pain to get it done. Imagine doing that on every level of your life, not just the gym, but every level. I think that's where the game changing magic comes into play. So, bro, I love that you shouted that out, man. Now,
Thanks,
that's not
bro.
the reason why we're here. That's not
No,
the reason why we're here,
no.
but I love how we started that out, man. That's fire. That's gold.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I'm proud of what I've built and building because it's constantly evolving. The world's constantly evolving. You're constantly being able to put more things in place. It's a 16-week program if anyone is interested in wanting to do it. And join my it's my Warriors Brotherhood Facebook page. You can jump in there, hit me up. That's a free, well, it's a, not even private. It's a public Facebook group. So jump in there. The Warriors Brotherhood, which it's just like-minded people coming together that are wanting the world to be a better place. Hey, if you're a coach, if you're in this space, join in the page. Join the page. Let's build a community together. John's doing exactly the same thing. We're here wanting the world to be a better place, and it has to start with you. But first of all, you've got to realize that you are in a dark place, and when you're in a dark place and you know you can get yourself out of it, there's people that are here that are willing to be on your corner, not to fucking hold your hand through it, but to kick you up the ass and keep you moving forward.
Yeah, I dig it, man. And you're 100%. I think that's the most important part is getting around like-minded people,
Mm.
like-minded individuals who are ready to level up. So, you got two guys right here. And again, when we started this, we absolutely were not in this space, and
Oh,
what's really cool is to watch the elevated journey that we both, have been on, the dark times, the struggles that we continue to have, Aaron. It's not like all of a sudden life is all peaches and cream
mm.
and everything's great today.
Oh
It's
no,
not.
no.
It's not. It's just Aaron and I have learned to channel that energy, especially when we're going frustrating times, dark times, stressful times. There's ways that we are able to dig ourselves out, even if it is sending my boy a voice note and being like, "Hey, man, I'm having a rough day. Fuck, this sucks today."
Mm.
And my boy getting on there going, "Hey, man, you got it. You know what? Hey, take a breather for a second, but then get your butt back going. You got work to do." It's just accountability, and it's fire to the fullest, man. So I appreciate our community for sure.
Leveling up, bro. We're both leveling up. Fuck yeah. I mean, hey, if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, 2 weeks ago, the level up season from 2 weeks ago, go and have a listen to that.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, I'm very proud of that episode too, man. So I definitely appreciate us putting that together. All right,
So,
man. Let's talk about it. Let's freaking talk about it, dude. You and I had a conversation right before this.
yeah, huh?
And one of the things that I was curious about, Aaron, was, there's a lot of buzz going on around our world right now, just in a lot of different spaces, right?
Mm,
And I'm not just saying me and you, man. I'm talking about if you're somebody listening right now, you know what's going on in this world. you know what's going on around in your world, even more in your household, right? Let's shrink it all the way down and make this personal about everybody around us. But when you hear stuff, Aaron, hey, Aaron, guess what? I heard this and such this, and this person did this. And did you hear about this? Or did you jump on social media and see this video? Or did you see that? I want to know, Aaron, the first thing that happens when you catch wind of that stuff. It's easy to go down the rabbit hole. It's easy to start believing right away because maybe your source is a legit one. But what happens, man, when you hear the
Hmm.
rumors? What happens, man?
And hey, yeah, you're right. We can use this in all aspects of our life, everything going on from, you know, let's talk about it. The opening ceremony from the Olympics, from that through to your work environment, through to your personal lives, yeah, fucking everything. Um,
Everything.
and look, I'm definitely going to be looking at the last 4 years experience for me and what I had to go through with my choices that I made. A lot of it now will come down to, okay, who's the source? And are these sources being legit all the time? Or is this again just another rumor?
Mm,
Then what I'm doing, I use discernment. And when I use discernment, okay, I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to have a look. What are they talking about? I'm going to go to the source that they've referenced and I'm going to find out for myself. Because each one of us, when you hear the same thing that I'm watching, you're going to get a completely different interpretation of what's said compared to me. We all
mm,
see the world very differently. So what I will do is I will use my discernment, and I will do my own fucking research. All these liberals out there, do your research. Yeah. Do your research. I'll do my research to find out, okay, is this legit and what this person has said? And when I go to the source, okay, what's been said here? What am I getting out of this? Like, what's the message that I'm hearing here? And then I'll either choose to ignore it, or I'll, naturally do what the next thing is with whatever I've been told. How about yourself? Like, I'm interested to hear for you because we've both of us have been hearing and seeing a lot of stuff in our respective worlds. So, from your perspective, again, yeah, what is your process to iron out the bullshit? Because in our world and where we're in at the moment is that we have been very assertive in getting rid of the shit out of our life because
mm.
we're very now boundary orientated. We've got our boundaries in place and we're very sure of what we want our life to look like. We're also very particular of our time. Our time is the most valuable thing that we have to offer. So we're very particular in how we spend that. So yeah, I'm interested to hear from you when you get all this information that comes to you. Like, what's your process? What do you do?
Yeah. Man, bro, that's a good point, man. I will say I'm glad you set me up that way because I know current state, I don't really carve out a lot of time for chatter. For just, I heard this. Did you hear that? What about this? What about that? Did you watch the news last week? Oh, did you know that there's a storm coming in that might actually wash us out and flood us out? All these things, Aaron, I believe is true noise and just chatter, man. Because the truth of the matter is that, you become, I would say prior to really me leveling up into the space that I'm in now, I was that man that was very reactive. Bro, I'll give you a prime example. A few years ago, we'll just say, prior to all this level up season that we've been in, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I've lived in Colorado my whole life,
Mm.
and it snows every winter. It's no shock, right? But what would happen to me is I would watch the news, and the news would go, "Hey, we're gonna have 2 feet of snow. You're gonna be buried. Everybody better get to the grocery store." And what happened at the grocery store? Everybody cleaned it out. Everybody cleaned it right out, bro. Right. And so the truth is, man, is it's really funny because you start to realize, at least for me, when I look back at that state, that I was in the reactive state like everybody else. Hey, we got to get to the grocery store. Hey, oh my gosh, we're going to run out of food. We're going to be stuck for 3 days. You just start going down this rabbit hole. And I think that's what I would call it, man. Is it just a rabbit hole where you're like going, wait a minute, hold on a second. Is this true or am I just getting scared now and
Yeah.
and listening to
Ah,
all this noise and all this chatter, man. So
the
I'll just
fear.
take it from that angle, man.
It's interesting that I want to quickly jump in here that you have a look at a lot of the propaganda out there is that they are really, riding on your emotions. That whole fear factor the
Yes.
last few years. Fuck, here in Australia, it was all about toilet paper. I don't know what it was like over there in America, but
Same.
here, as soon as they
Same.
say there's going to be lockdown, like literally they wiped out the whole fucking stock of toilet paper.
Yeah.
We do have people. There were people walking out the store that were buying like 30, 40, 50 fucking rolls of toilet paper. No
Agreed.
joke, no fucking joke. I'm like, then we realize it's like supermarket's still going to be fucking open tomorrow. Still going to be
Yeah.
open. And and the news side of it for you in Colorado saying that there's going to be 2 feet of snow. Was there actually 2 feet of snow the next day?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say, Aaron, probably, 1 out of 10 times we would get that
Yeah.
ballad of a storm, right? And bro, I mean, to be quite honest, I would say 2021 was the last time I remember they were actually right, where I was eye level with the snow, shoveling it off my walk, dude. So
Holy
that was a
shit.
pretty epic kind of one of those wicked storms where they got it right.
Yeah.
So what happens, Aaron, and this is what I think what I'll jump in here and say, man, is you start remembering those times. So here it is 2024 and of course let's just say this winter they say, "Hey, we're going to have one of those storms we had in 21." What do? Automatically
Yeah.
remember what that was like and you go, "That must mean that every time is going to be like that." Right? So you start reliving the every 6 months. You keep reliving the same 6 months over and over so you think you have it down pat, therefore you react a certain way and next thing you know you're just running scared. And so
Mm.
I don't know, man. I always use the weather on it because it's such an uncontrollable thing. But bro, I think I brought this up, man, because
Uncontrollable.
to your point, right? It's not something that we can control.
I don't know.
And the other part
Weather.
of it, bro,
Want to jump?
everything in
Dude, I want to jump in here. The uncontrollable
yeah,
weather. I
yeah.
don't know. Hey, fucking, let's go down that rabbit hole. Like, hey, the cloud seeding and anyway, the guys probably don't want to hear that, but yeah, I just needed to fucking put that shit in.
No, hey, glad you did, bro. But no, I mean, honestly, I don't want to just sit here and ramble, but I'm just simply saying, bro, I just think that's what it is. It's a season of not being reactive and really just getting, for me personally, what I've done is had to get very intentional with every block of time that I'm putting aside and going, okay, what's this doing for me right now? Right? Am I spending too much time mindlessly scrolling or am I snapping myself out of it and going, hey, what are we doing here? Okay, if you're trying to find content to get ideas from, I see that. But if you're just doing it just to do it, come on, man. Let's get it together. Right. And so I think that's what has helped me, Aaron, not have the downward spiral. But I'm curious, what helps you nowadays versus back then? And I don't know if you've ever been, how I just described myself, but I know for me, I was that way for a while. But I know you said you kind of had some pushback on some stuff. But what do you do currently now? Just fast forward to Aaron this year, right now. What are you doing when you hear that kind of stuff, man? And how does that all work for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I love that you brought it up about you're not so reactive now. And I was actually going to ask you kind of what does that look like now? And you said probably one of the most important words that need to be said, and that's the present moment. Like in this moment, right here, right now, matters. And look, like you have to real. I guess the reality is that right through school, the what they were teaching us through school, through that side of it, what our parents were, how they were bringing us up as kids, the environment we're in, your working environment. Um, there was a lot of reaction to something when it went wrong. You have a look at the governments and what they do. Like something will go wrong. It's like, oh, there's a reactive thing that they put in place, and that reaction is generally to put in another fucking law or some bullshit. But then I have a look, and I learned this. Shit, I learned this about close to maybe 7 or 8 years ago now. And it was an elder, so an Aboriginal elder. Everyone calls their Aboriginal elders uncles. And like they are seen in the community as the wise man. So I was at a men's retreat. It was a weekend retreat on this amazing land in Victoria. It was 4 days. We were camping on a hill. There was no power. The only power we got was through solar. We had to leave our phones in the car. Like our cars were locked. Our keys were put somewhere where we just couldn't come and go as we pleased. We were there for like 3 days, just doing a deep dive into who we were, and it was really quite incredible. But we had and every night we'd have a campfire and we'd sit around the campfire and we'd literally talk about what went through our head that day. And the thing that always stuck out to me was the uncle turned around to me and said, "There is three things that you need to have a look at. Is that and this is where depression, anxiety, and stuff comes in for people. Is that if you're worried about the past, you cannot redo the past. The past is the past. There's no point you sitting in that because there's nothing you can do about it. If you're worried about the future hasn't happened yet. Like if you're constantly worrying about what's coming, it hasn't happened, and there's a high chance that it won't. The and why do they call it the present moment? Because it's a gift.
Mm.
Staying in that present moment is the only moment that you can control because it's a gift that you have right now to live. And however you live in this moment now will determine how your future looks. And it flows right in with what we do with our coaching programs. It's that we get people to focus on the now because what you do now will set you up for the future. There's no more anxiety. There's no more worry about what the future is going to be because you're controlling it in this moment. And controlling it in this moment is based on your actions. And when your actions align with where your mindset is at, because we all have a life that we want to have, we all have a life that we want to live by. So if you can control that and stay in this present moment, that's the most important thing. So I've always lived that. And where I am now is, yeah, I'm taking every moment right now as a gift. I'm not even worrying about tomorrow because there's a high chance, we've said it, there's a high chance that I may not even be here tomorrow.
Mhm.
And what's happened is don't live in regret. There's a couple of things I regret, but the past is the past, and the past is the lessons to not fucking repeat moving forward. So right now is live every moment right now, and also not to sit in that old sort of mindset, the old bullshit that I was in, where I've only got 8 hours or I'm tired, I don't want to do this. No, if you're tired, fucking go harder, do more. There's like part of my program is I need to be working on 4 areas, 4 key areas of my life every single day. And part of it is business. I might be getting up at, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, but I'm still needing to work on my business because it's in my schedule, working on my business between 9 to 9:30 at night or up to 9:30 at night. I have to. It's part of my business. If that's where if I want more people to see what I do, if I want more people to be a part of my program that's going to help them become a better man, a better person, better woman, then I've got to put the work in. And it doesn't fucking stop. So yeah, the gift of the now is the fucking number one, bro.
Bro, I love that, man. That's so good. And Aaron, I think you and I have even said that before too, man. Just if you go have a look at Aaron and I's story, we tell such a powerful story about why that present moment matters.
Hmm.
So it's just so good, man. But the other thing I'll say, Aaron, about it is that, when we look at this life and we look at reactive state of mind, it really is the difference. It makes all the difference in how your next 6 months is going to play out, right?
Yeah.
If and again, you just use the term, you threw in all your cards at once too early and you didn't have to, then all of a sudden you start feeling like, well, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Then guess what? You start repeating that pattern as well. Self-sabotage is a big one, right? I think that's
Mm,
another
mm,
key point that we can put in there, right? Is that we end up shooting ourselves in the foot because we were in a reactive state instead of gathering all the facts. And you know what, Aaron? This is the thing, man. You can't control everything. You're not going to be able to control everything. But the truth is you can always control how you react to that situation. So to your point, man, it's even if you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to just see how this kind of shakes out because there's a couple of different angles I have here, right? You're not just holding on for dear life and hoping things are going to go the way they go. You're not doing that,
yeah.
but you're strategic enough where you're going, you know what? All right, I have a couple of different options here. But rather than just throw in on the very first thing that I think is going to happen, let me come at this from a different angle and see how it plays out. And you know what? Let's just be comfortable. And I think this is the biggest thing, Aaron, being decisive, man. Decide what you're gonna do and then stick with it. Stop hemming and hawing and oh, I don't know
Mm.
about this. What about that? I'm not sure. Because you're getting into a battle with your own head that you don't need to be in. So I think that's the biggest thing for me anyway, man, is making a decision and sticking with it.
Yep.
Stop going that you don't have to do the other stuff, man. So what are your thoughts on being decisive, man?
Yeah, no, I agree. Every now and then it's okay to sit back and grab your popcorn and just watch shit unfold, because it'll whatever the outcome is whatever the outcome is.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that we see that are holding on to something. They're either holding on to whatever the life they've created. They're either trying to hold on to that, or trying to hold on to some sort of external validation. They're trying to hold on to, the materialistic things that whatever they're in has given them. But guys, be fucking real. Like the material shit that you've got, you can't take it with you when you're gone. You were born with nothing, you're going to die with nothing. And along the way, it's like you're either going to become this fucking selfish, self-entitled fuckwit, that everything you have is a reflection of who you are.
Mm.
Whereas, hey, I might have a nice car, but that doesn't reflect who I am. That's not me. It's just because I got a nice car. So don't judge me on that. Unfortunately, a lot of people have, built an identity around that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
built it, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see it unfold now. We're starting to see a lot of people fucking hold on for dear life. Like it's a little bit like you've got this corrupt politician who wants to hold on to power, and they'll do whatever they've got to do to not let go of power. Hey, fuck, look what's happening in politics around the world. You see it around
Mhm.
the world. Like once someone gets a taste of power, gets a taste of stardom, they don't want to let go of that anytime soon. So they will do whatever they've got to do, sell their soul, do whatever they've got to do to, hold on to that. And I think this is a point I want to make, is that so few of us are really tuning into who we truly are, tuning in to be guided by not only purpose but truth, our own truth. And I say it all the time: stop fucking lying. We're always trying to make ourselves sound ourselves better than what we really are. So until you really take a tune in and go, does this actually matter to me? Does this really fucking matter? And what I'm doing, is it right? And what I'm saying, is it truthful? When you start to ask yourself those questions, and then all of a sudden you start to pivot, and then you start to realize what's really fucking important. Materialistic shit
Oh,
doesn't worry. The title doesn't matter. None of that shit fucking matters. But we're starting to see, and I'm starting to see it like here. I'm starting to see it here in Australia, with, again, many people, many organizations. I'm seeing it in America, many organizations that people will do whatever they've got to do to hold on to what they have or have built. And I kind of, and a real quick one to add, I feel a lot of what people have built, it's been built on falsehoods, not truth.
yeah, man. It's you know what it is, Aaron. It's just popped into my head when you were saying this, is you're living the last 6 months the same way you're going to live the next 6 months. You have it reprogrammed into your brain that I need to do the same thing over and over and over and over again because this is my life. This is what I was born with. These
Mm.
are the cards that I was dealt with. You know what? I have my life so figured out
Yeah.
that I can tell you exactly what's going to happen the second I drive down the street. You know what's going to happen? And you know what, Aaron? There's no life in that, man.
Mm.
You're not living. You're living off of pre-programmed things that happened to you for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. You're taking the same route to work. You're doing the same thing over and over. You come home, you do this, you do. There's nothing different. And therefore, you go, this is my life. And bro, I mean, what do you say? We say it best: nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
So the only reason why your life's not different is because you're choosing to live that same life every single day. And I think that's what it comes down to, brother, is that to your point, right? Materialistic crap, that comes and goes. Money comes and goes, right? But yet those are the two main
Mm.
stresses that we have in this
Oh,
world.
fuck yeah. Oh, shit. Both you and I, when it comes to money and all of a sudden we get lack of money, we're like, where does it put us? Puts us in a massive amount of scarcity, but it also
Yes.
puts us in a massive amount of shame as
Yes.
well. So yeah, it's
But
fucking unreal. And then, when we're in scarcity and when we're in shame, what do? We start getting really desperate and it's like, fuck. And then all of a sudden we start to react and
yeah.
don't follow our true path because we become really impatient. And fuck, it's a tough one. It's a hard one. So and this is when I look at it is that money is energy. Energy is energy, money is energy. And you are either going to attract money or you're not. And if you're in scarcity, you're not going to attract money, put it that way. So I look at it from an energy perspective. What's my energy today? Am I attracting the people that need to be around me in my circle? But the most important thing as well, and for me, and this is really fucking hard for a lot of people, really fucking hard, is that when you start to come from a place of truth and start being honest about what's right and what's wrong, because we all know the difference between right and wrong. When you start to come from a place of truth, all of a sudden things change
Mm,
quickly, quickly.
mm.
And you're no longer becoming all about the materialistic things. You're no longer becoming about look at me kind of mentality. And I know that there are a lot of people that are so far gone that that's all they ever think about. We start to see it in a few businesses that we know of. So yeah, it is really, really interesting. But and if you truly want to live a life of, I wouldn't even say calmness, but if you truly want to live a life of purpose, you've got to start making some changes. And those changes are you need to start thinking differently. And the only way to start thinking differently is start to be honest and start to come from a truthful place. But then also you will have these thoughts of things that you need to do. You need to put those actions in place, regardless of how difficult it is or how afraid you are of doing something that you must do. And when you conquer those two things, bro, all of a sudden the world's like, holy fuck, you've just opened up a whole new portal of a completely different life.
Bro, I love that. Man, I love that. That's so good, Aaron. And one of the things as we start to wrap this up, man, I'll say, and I've said this before, I posted a reel about it, is a quote that I saw is champions expect to win.
Mm.
And
Oh,
what's crazy about that one, man, is that if you just unpack that for a second, we're not just talking about sports or anything, just in everyday life, man, if something good happens to you or for you or whatever, however you want to say that, you don't get too far up and you start walking on water and you start getting so excited and I finally made it, I'm good, right? Because the second you do that is when you crumble.
mm-hmm.
So the idea is, man, is that when you get these wins, you expect it because you put in the hard work
Yep.
to get that win, right? But those that don't expect to win, those are the ones that get so high up when they do win that they come crashing down, right?
Yep.
So I just say this, man, to your point, you go back to attracting the right people. And when you do attract the right people, you know how to act. You don't act so, just excited and oh my gosh, I finally got my first client and I got this person wants to help me and this person. You get so excited. Guess what? It's because you don't truly believe that you deserve that life. But when you know you deserve it and you have that self-belief within yourself, it's not being a jerk, not being cocky. You just expect to win. You expect to attract these people based off the work you're putting in every day, bro. So I'll
100%.
share. That's the quote I'm going to leave us with, man. What do you want to leave us with as we wrap up?
Dude, I got nothing to leave you with. I mean, that was a perfect ending to all of this, and it's so fucking true. Guys, I just want people to be better, do better. Have a look at where you are in your life right now. What needs to change? Stop fucking waiting for someone to go, hey, you need to do A, B, and C. You already know what you need to do. You're just not facing the reality. You already know. You've already told yourself time and time again what you need to do. Oh, I'm going to start this new diet Monday. Well, fucking start it. I've got to start training. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're a fat piece of shit. Okay. Probably be a little bit harsh, but yeah, you're looking at yourself. But the reality is, John, you and I say that to ourselves when we look at ourselves in the mirror and go, fuck, you're fat.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a reality. And it's like, when are you going to get yourself off your fucking ass? When are you going to stop being that lazy, unhealthy, you know, unfit, uneducated human being? When are you
Yep.
going to finally start looking at how you are meant to be living on this floating rock?
You got it.
Bro,
Got it.
and it's been a good one. I know that there's people that are going to fucking put a whole heap of things in the comments. Please leave your comments. We love hearing from you guys. If there's any questions for either John or I, please let us know. This has been a privilege. It's been a privilege, John. Thank you, man.
Thank you guys. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always. And until next week, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, we'll chat soon, mate.
Peace out, bro.